Yeah, good evening. Welcome. I want to wait till 10 p.m. before. As soon as you join, kindly give the video a thumbs up before you open the chat so you can help others to locate the video properly. Yes, I have this Sumaya Tahil. You are welcome. Good evening. Yes, Mohammed, you are welcome. Good evening. Zainab Mohammed. Oyin Damola, Ahmed, Sherifat, all of you, all welcome. Please, as soon as you join, drop a message in the box there. Let's know that you are here. And what do we have tonight? Let's see how far we can go tonight. We have quite a lot of things to do tonight. Start to Nigeria. Okay, so I think that's we should be able to get to this place tonight. There's how many pages? Hmm. Okay. We stopped. I want someone to remind me one thing he or she learned from the last class where we talked about the correspondence stage, the stage of radio and television. Sorry, the yes, that is audio and visual, audio, the sound and video stage. That was the second stage. The first stage is correspondence stage. What did you learn from the sound and video stage? Let's start with that tonight. Yes, I'm waiting. What did you learn in the last class? Do we have anybody in this class tonight? I have given you the tips. We learned about sound and video stage of the history of ODL, that is open distance learning. So what did you learn? Just drop one line. I learned that radio was the first technology that was used in delivering open and distance learning. Well, that's fine. You may even tell us the years they started, the year that the first radio program was aired, and some other things like that. So I'm waiting. Okay, Aisha Umar learned that the foundation was laid during the World War One. Absolutely, I'm clapping for you, Aisha. That is nice. Okay, and I think this is Drake or Drake. He learned that the video, excuse me. Okay, the third stage is the computer stage. Well, we have not done that. We are just starting that tonight, but that is fine. You learned something. Ibrahim says, I learned that radio and television was adopted. Yes, that is a nice one. I'm waiting for the rest of you. If you join this meeting, before you open the chat, give this video a thumbs up. Like it. When I say thumbs up, I'm saying like the video. Then you open the chat. Thank you for doing so. Okay, somebody said it was adopted in the University of Wisconsin. Thank you. Started in 1858. You guys have learned a lot. This is wonderful. This is wonderful. All right, so let's we are to start with computer stage tonight, and we like to read. Let me try to bring it up a bit more so everybody will be able to see what we are here to read. All right, so I think it's bolder now. You can see it well on your screen, and we are good to go. Mhm. Don't forget what we've started with in this course. Our concern is to learn how to be a successful open and distance learner, especially one that is studying under National Open University of Nigeria. And we've tried to describe or kind of define what open distance learning mean. And we, after that definition, we looked at several definitions from several people, especially from the Commonwealth of Learning, Cole. I think that's in 2015. After we looked at that, we deem it necessary that we should learn about the history. How did this start? It's not just good enough for you to know that this is the meaning of ODL. It's always good to know where something started from. And that was why we started the history of open distance learning. We started with the first stage, which we call the correspondence stage, and you knew what happened then. Issue of writing letter, using letter, and one example given them was that of okay, let me ask us a very general question. Who was the man that was used as example during correspondence stage? The man that uses shorthand to teach through mail, through mail. What was his name? The man that used shorthand to teach through mail, that was cited as the main example of the correspondence stage of open and distance learning. What was the man's name? Okay, I'm seeing some Pittman, Isaac Pittman. Yes, and Track says Sir Isaac Pittman. Yes, somebody is writing Isaac and Pittman with small letter I and P respectively. If you write that in the exam and starting with small letter, we need to see school. Thank you, Sir Isaac Pittman. So after that, we move to the second stage where we talked about radio and then eventually television. So the stage, you know, started and then the television stage set in. So the radio stage was the first one before television eventually, set in. And then they used them extensively for open and distance learning. But technology is not static. Technology keeps changing. They keep, bringing new inventions. We keep seeing new things. And that being the case, we find out that something else came into space, into the world, that is far better than radio and television, that is more productive than radio and television. And don't forget that ODL, and that's why you are seeing that the school seems complicated. It seems like if you ask a student that schooled in this same school last semester, he will not be able to tell you accurate things about the school. Why? Because the school keeps changing every semester. What you experience this semester, by the time new set comes next semester, they may likely experience new things. And so what you will be telling them may look like, but you said it's like this. We don't know. They just change it. It was like that before, you see. Why? They always look for new technology and then they try to use them. They want the school to always get better. This is a school that is solely based on the use of technology. So you have to understand that. Now, when they were using radio, they were so happy, wow, learning is going fast. Then suddenly they invented television. Then I say, wow, this one is even better. The student can now watch, they can see the image, the graphics of what is being done. No. This one is better than radio. Then they started using television. All of a sudden, somebody came up with computers. They said there is one machine now. Oh, this machine is fire. Student can do and undo on it. In fact, it's going to help our teaching. What is the name of that machine? So, wow, the machine is computer. Have you heard of computer? The moment ODL management heard of the invention of computer, they say, wow, this is awesome. Let's quickly buy one or two and start using it and see how it's going to help uh, our system. So, when computer technology came into being, let's read a bit, guys. Computer technology represented the third phase of distance education. Commenting on this phase, Scott and Embry Riddle in 2008 said that the new 80s space age brought technology which included computers and space satellites, thereby allowing universities to offer adult education programs and refresher courses to students situated thousands of miles from the actual campuses. Now, it is important to note the continuous development of technology continues to affect educational delivery from this time onward. We would not comment much on this, as the use of computer technology and information technology is an integral part of open learning and would form part of our studies in the future unit. So in this generation that you find yourself in, you find out that solemnly solely rather, the main thing we use now is technology. In fact, if there should be anything that comes out tomorrow that is far better than computers, we still buy it, we still key into it, we still adopt it as ODL, because we just keep looking for the best way to deliver this distance learning. So this is an important development. In fact, what you are able to do today, that you turn on your phone and you're already learning, you're already watching facilitation on your phone, you are joining Zoom, is because of the advances in technology, especially the inventions of the invention of the computers. Now, open and distance learning. We are done with the three stages of the historical record that, or development of open and distance learning. Stage one, let's list them in the chat box. Just list the three stages of development in ODL over time, starting with the first one, which is the correspondence stage, to the last one. So kindly list. I want everybody available online now to, don't say somebody have typed what I want to type. Answer your own. List the three stages of development of ODL, or three stages of open distance learning development. So yes, I'm waiting for your answers before we move to the next thing. So somebody said the three stages are radio, television, and computer. If you write that in your non-exam, you failed already. Correspondence stage, radio and video signal stage, and computer stage. God bless you, Drake. Yes, Mohammed, correspondence stage. Yes, that is one. Okay. Television came during the same era. A lot of people a thumbs up. Now, for you guys, though, you join a meeting and you can't like it. Yes, correspondence stage, radio television stage, computer technology stage. Good evening, sir. You're welcome. Yes, I need more answers. I'm loving is it Abdallah or Abdallah? What's the name? Correspondence stage. Yeah, you are correct. That's good. That is good. That is amazing. A lot of to say anything reasonable. Good. You have to contribute. You a question. Which of the stage among all the stages we've learned about, we've treated, which one is your favorite? Which of the stages is your favorite and why? That is a question to the class. Which of the developmental stages of the ODL is your favorite and why? Yes, I'm patiently waiting. Computer stage, because it's made it far easier for two-way communication. Thank you. Thank you. Drake is a very active person here and an intelligent person. I will soon give Drake an award in this class. Computer stage is my favorite because it's flexible and easy to access and use. Thank you, Stella. All the Stellas I know, they are always intelligent. That's amazing. Thank you, thank you. I'm enjoying that. I'm enjoying that. That makes sense. Okay. Computer stage. Why? So none of you love the old stage? Why people like this? Radio. Thank you. I love Zippy. Zippy says the radio stage because the reason why I pick this is that it's vocally easy to pick every word. Thank you. I love that. I love people that don't like following the crowd. So many people now are just radio, 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 radio. Why not say something else? Why do you like copy, copy? Stop copying people. Now I'm still looking for somebody that would like uh, the television stage. I'm looking for someone that would like the television stage. Nobody yet. Why? Why is there nobody that loves television stage? So if you don't like it, do you mean that you don't used to watch television? Is that what you are saying? So you guys are trying to tell, let's get that give us some money. Thank you. God bless you. So uh uh what else should we go to now? Since you guys are responding very well, this makes sense. Now let's go to open your mind now to what is actually there, so you better understand what is there. Like, mm, but before we go, I want you guys to remember something on this computer stage. It started in the 1980s, and because it was during the have the development of computer, satellite, and electronic communication. Please bear that in mind. Bear this point in mind. Let me drop it in the chat. This stage, this 1980s were so important then because that was the time they developed the computer technology, satellites, and also electronic communication. Please bear that in mind. Those are things they can test you on in exam. So let's see, and we can even talk more on this issue of computers. How has computers changed the way distance open and distance learning is taking place? It is through computers now that we have introduction of several possibilities like electronic learning materials, where you can have, okay, instead of giving students only books, printed books in the university, the ones you collect, the hard copy, now universities could do things like study materials that are not printed, like PDF. They could even give you CD-ROM, record a video in CD-ROM, you play it later. And you see, another thing that is now available is computer-based learning. You as a student now, you can now use your computer to learn. Let's say, for example, let's say you have imagine you have uh, uh, a math student now among us that want to study maybe quadratic equation. So if you are asked x squared minus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0, for instance, you will solve it, you get x is equal to 2 and x is equal to 3. Now the computer can ask you question, what is this? You solve it, the computer even say, oh, you are correct or you are wrong. Those are things that are not available. And then one important thing the computer has helped us to do is faster communication. So the computer is now allowing students, teachers to communicate more quickly. Before, during the correspondence stage, you write a letter, you go to post office and post it and send it. It will take days before it arrives at your teacher's end or at your student's end. Now, your teacher or your facilitator will just enter WhatsApp. Hello, everyone. How are you? Hope you are fine. Well, the class is no longer holding today. We'll hold it tomorrow. Sorry for the inconvenience. Bye bye. And instantly, all the students will receive it simultaneously. That is the work of computers. So let's go to the next thing we have here, which is open and distance learning. Before we read what is here in the material, I want to give a very simple explanation to help you understand. So when we are reading it, it's just like we are confirming my explanation. Now, there are three things, like we've always said from the beginning, that makes up open and distance learning. One is open learning. The other one is distance education. And then we have open and distance learning combined together. In this topic you are seeing here, open and distance learning, three things are combined together. If you isolate them individually, open learning is one of it, distance education is another one. Then when you combine the two of them, open and distance learning. So they are all related, but they don't mean the same thing. Open learning, distance education, open and distance learning, they are all related, but they are not the same thing. But you can easily confuse them. Okay, what is open learning? Let's start with open learning, for instance. Open learning became an important educational movement around, and that is 1970s. In the 1970s, that was when anything like open learning, came into space. And then the major philosophy behind that open learning then was that they want to give the learner greater freedom and choice. They want to give you, the learner, greater freedom and choice. Take for instance, in the conventional setting. Somebody say you can't hear me anymore. That should be my network. I think I need to adjust my Wi-Fi. Sorry. Is it a general thing? Is the voice? Do you still need me to adjust it? I need confirmation from the rest of you. Thank you, Zippy. This platform we are using, and then the method of teaching. I need confirmation from the rest of us. Can you let hear? Okay, I think it's from Lois' side. Okay, the voice is keeping. Sorry, that is network issue. That is network issue. I'm so sorry about that. Okay, sorry about that. And I really want to explain. Okay, maybe we should, let's change pattern. Let me read from the material first, then I'll come up with my explanation. Maybe that will be better. Now, let's start the reading. Open learning is an innovative movement in education that emerged in the 1970s. It refers mainly to activities that either enhance learning opportunities within formal education systems, or broaden learning opportunities beyond the formal education system, according to Wikipedia. Now, the educational philosophy of open learning emphasizes giving learners choices about the medium or media of learning. One, place and pace of study. Two, support mechanisms, as well as entry and exit point. You see, you will soon understand what we mean by all of this. They look like grammars now, but I will break them down. But let's just finish reading first, then we'll go to explanation. Now, the combination of the philosophy of open learning and distance education gave birth to open and distance learning. This is where you see that we have three things in this place. We have open learning one, distance education two. Then when you combine open learning and distance education, you have one single term, open and distance learning. Now, open and distance learning is one of the most rapidly growing fields of education, and its potential impact in all educational delivery has been greatly accentuated by the World Wide Web in 2002. Okay, let's stop there. Let's talk about that paragraph before we start talking about the first open university, about the the paragraph we just finished reading. And what do I want to say about it? First of all, we notice that open learning started as a concept in 1970s. Please, I want you guys to always be active. Okay, let's take an icebreaker. I've just finished reading that part of the material. Let me see if you guys are with me. Open learning became an important educational movement around the dash. Around what year? I've mentioned it like 10 times now. I've mentioned it like 10 times. So I expect that you guys should understand it now. So it became a concept around. Oh, let me not mention that again before I'll give you an answer. Now, the major philosophy behind this open learning, when it started then in that year, is that they want to give learner the greater freedom and choice. You are not the one to make the choice about some of the things that you will do in your learning. Now, let's compare two things together. In the traditional educational settings, they usually tell you that come to classroom, come by 8 o'clock, follow this timetable, use this textbook, complete the program within the fixed period. That is how conventional universities work. Come to this classroom, come to this classroom by so time, 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, follow the timetable I've given to you, use the textbook, complete the program within the next so weeks or years. Now, when you see all these restrictions where you see all these restrictions, university. Now, but what is the idea of open learning? When we say that open learning gives the learner greater freedom and choice. Now, what we are trying to say is that instead of come to the classroom tomorrow morning by 8 a.m., anybody that not meet there, consider yourself an ex-student of my course. What will open learning do? Open learning tries to reduce all these restrictions. It gives you, the learner, more choices. Instead of refining you to come to class by 8 a.m., what are the choices that you have as open learning student? Or what choices does open learning provide for you as a student? Now, one is the choice of medium, of learning medium. The choice of learning medium is not like a lecturer telling you that come to class by 9 a.m. tomorrow or 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, bring this so textbook, learn maybe new school physics or anything. And then if you don't come by this time, if you don't follow the timetable, you are no longer my student, blah, 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 blah. I will send you out of my class, Now, for open learning does something to you. It gives you choice. And that's why if you have been reading those daily diaries I've been sending, you find that I'm exposing you to some things about your freedom in open learning. You have freedom, but if you don't use that freedom very well, you find out that you've just come to waste your 4 years. You have the choice. Open learning has given you more choice, more freedom, more liberty. But if you don't know how to control them, how to use them well, you will just find out that it's just like a waste of time. Now, the first choice that open learning gives you is the choice of learning medium, as identified in the text we've just finished reading, in the paragraph we've just finished reading. The first choice you find yourself having is the choice of medium. The choice of medium of learning. What does this mean? When we say medium and media of learning, what are we talking about? For example, you as a learner, you may decide to study through printed materials that you collected from the study centers. That is the hard copy. You may use audio. You may use video. You may, like now, you are watching a lecture. You may even watch it after we are done. You may not be available when we are doing it. You may watch it after we are done. You can listen to audio lectures. You can, use the computer to study. You can use your phone to study. You can join online lectures. You can even use ebooks to study. Why? You have a choice of medium. The medium that suits you best is what you will use. So why some people will attend this class tonight live, some people don't understand classes when they're watching it live. They prefer let them finish, then I will watch the recording. Some people understand better through recording. But if it's conventional university, all of you must attend the class. If you're not in the class, there's nothing like recording. You have missed the class. Bye-bye. You see the difference? The difference is that you as an open learner, you have the freedom. Oh, you as a student now in the group, you can say, see all these course material that you people are reading, me, I don't really used to understand. I prefer somebody, then they have recorded some videos. Let me just watch it. When I watch, I used to understand better. That freedom is there. You can decide to choose that pattern on your own because that is what suits you best. That is one thing. So that is choice of what we mean by choice of medium. Open learning gives you choice of medium. Now, let me give another example. Assuming we have two students that are studying the same topic, and let's say student A learns mainly by reading the course material, and student B like watching recorded lectures, and then let's say even student C like to listen to audio lesson while traveling. Somebody now, when they are in the car traveling, that is when they will put audio on, they put their airpod and be listening to lectures, and that is when the things sink in their own head. You can't, so everybody have you are not going to study yourself. How do I learn better? What is my best mode of learning? That is the mode you will use to learn in open and distance learning. That is why we used to say, all of you that will be shouting, they do not do facilitation for my course, oh, they do not do facilitation for my course, oh, please help me, oh. The thing is, don't wait for facilitation. The freedom has been given to you. You can decide to learn through any medium that is best for you. If you know that it is through one-on-one tutoring that you understand the course material, employ a tutor to help you. Employ a tutor to help you. Somebody say I should be fast. Are you so that is it. The second thing is that it gives you a choice of place. So traditional learning, you have to be in the classroom, the lecturer lectures you, and then everybody are there physically. For open learning, you can choose to learn in your home, in your office, in a library, in a study center, in the bus, anywhere you find yourself, you have the choice of place. So that is it. Another thing is choice of pace. Now, I want you to see the difference between place and pace. Now, different students learn at different speeds. That is meaning of pace. Different students learn at different speeds. That is what, excuse me. Okay, I have an idea, guys. So suppose you have a unit titled Introduction to Computer Systems. Now, if student A understand it in 30 minutes, or she will understand it. While student read C may read today, watch a video tomorrow, and revise it again on Saturday before he can understand. That is the meaning of difference in pace. You can learn at your own pace. Study and learn at your own pace. Now, we have choice of support mechanism. You may receive assistance in different way in open learning. That's what they're trying to say. Maybe through lectures, tutors, facilitators, study centers, online forums, counseling services, peer groups like in your group chat, student to student, help desk, in-learning support, and all those are the uh, options you have. Then the last thing mentioned is entry and exit point. What does that mean? I want to dwell a bit on that. Learning may also provide greater flexibility regarding when learners enter or leave an educational program. Now, traditional education often has a very rigid entry arrangement. You have to write JAMB, you must meet 200, you write post UTME, you must pass up to 50, and then your WAEC must have more to 5 A's and 2 and you see, that is for conventional university. The entry is very strict. But for open learning, it is open. That is why they just say, just bring your WAEC result and then your best certificate number, you are done, you've gotten your admission. Welcome to now. It's as simple as that. That is enough openness in what? Entry. But what of openness in exit? What does it mean? Now, open learning generally tries to make educational opportunities available to people who might probably be excluded for many reasons. So, for example, we have working adults, parents, people living far from the universities, people who cannot attend daily lectures, people returning to education after leaving school for many years, and so on and so forth. So because of the openness of entry, all this category of people are able to join easily. They're able to join easily. Now, do you also know that in NOU Oh, people are complaining that they can't hear anything. Is this network this bad? This network is this bad. Sorry. Is the network better now? Is the network better now? Okay. People are still saying they can't hear me. What is so wrong with our network today? Oh, goodness. All right. Let's just quickly rush through the remaining things we have, and then we close it for tonight. Now, the first open university, public distance learning and research university, one of the biggest university in United Kingdom. The first open university was established in 1969 in the United Kingdoms. Please note that that is a very, very important information. Okay, let's test ourselves. At least if you cannot hear me, you can see what I drop in the box. Sorry about that network. We'll look for a solution subsequently. So, the first open university was established in 1969, and that is in United Kingdom. So, since this humble beginning, many other open universities have sprung up in the various regions of the world. The current trend in open universities is the movement towards internalization. Goodness. Guys, this question is a very, very important question. It comes out in exam, it comes out in TMA. The current trend no, I don't think it's even in TMA, it's always an exam question. It comes out in the exam every year that the current trend in open learning is what? Is what? What this means is that open universities now, they don't want to be doing only my country. They want to be doing for international too. That is what they are. If even this your school now, National Open University of Nigeria, they've been on it for many years now. They've been trying to create that access so that students that are in abroad can also be learning. They won't need to come to school for exam. That is why we have virtual exams now. They've started it small, but even students that are in abroad can even process their admission online, do everything online. They won't need to come to the school for anything like screening or anything. Everything will be done online. They are working towards that. So please, this I dwell I this me dwelling on this point is very important. Is an intentional act, because I know that this statement you will likely the possibility of you meeting it in the exam is more than 90%. So please hold that statement very well. So that is the latest trend in open university now. They are trying to become international. Now, in addition to the political and economic driving forces, internalization technologies, ICTs. So what I'm trying to tell you that internalization vision of a thing is going to be possible because of how well open and distance learning uses technology, ICT, information communication technologies. So, for instance, education software or educational software is often international, and satellite and electronic networks allow transmission and communication across national borders. So the global classroom is no longer a concept only for our imagination or for the future. It is now here. Because of the satellite now, we can now broadcast anything from any country and it gets to just any country. I have another icebreaker for you guys. We are almost done. We are almost done. So I think this part we'll just finish with it. It's very self-explanatory. But we need to finish this whole place before we. Now, while you are trying to answer that question, let me quickly chip in some explanation. Now, we said that the first open university was in the United Kingdom and it happened in 1969. Now, it was established there. It was the largest open university. The paragraph we just finished reading. And Okay. When they mention internalization, I think I've explained that. So you can actually from other countries, like students in Ghana, in Togo, in India, in South Africa, can also join. What we are now saying is not even the issue of uh, this internalization. Please listen to it very well. It's not the issue of a Nigerian student not living in Nigeria now wanting to do no, like a Ghanaian, or somebody from maybe Togo or from India, or any, or like a South African by birth, not like I'm a Nigerian, then I travel out, I'm now living in South Africa, then I want to do now and now proceed. No, somebody that is not even a Nigerian, that is what they mean by internalization, can also earn a degree in Nigerian Open University and it will be recognized. That is what they are trying to move towards. So that is what we mean by internalization. Now, why does technology support internalization? Because of satellite. So a lecturer may be in London. Most of those are facilitators. Most of the time they are holding classes. They are not in Nigeria. Maybe they've traveled out for a research or something, but it's time for class. They will still hold the class wherever they are. And you still watch it. And you still follow it, whether live or recorded. So when they say global classroom, imagine Zoom or YouTube now that we're using. Anybody can join from anywhere, all over the world. Why? It's a global classroom. It doesn't restrict that it's only people in Nigeria that can use Zoom or that can join Zoom meeting that are created in Nigeria. No, it is just a global thing. So that is a global classroom. Now, the last thing we are going to read tonight, and this is where we hang the boot tonight. The success of the United Kingdom Open University led to the establishment of other open universities around the world. He stated that this Athabasca University and Canada's Open University that were created in 1970, followed by the Spain's National University of Distance Education in 1972. Even Germany followed up, that is, followed them. Germany's Universitat in Hagen in 1974. Then we have the success of the open and distance learning system in Asia cannot be overlooked. The success of open and distance learning system in Asia cannot be overlooked. I remember answering this question in exam some times ago. So let me test you guys now and see if you have been following. The success of open and distance learning in Asia cannot be overlooked. Now, in fact, most successful open universities in the world today are in Asia. For example, there are 41 open and distance learning tertiary institutions in Asia, out of which only 5 are private institutions. Wow. 41, 5 private, that means we have about 30. Is that not 36 or so? Yes, 36 government-owned open university in Asia. So the private institutions are the Arab Open University, the Open University of Malaysia, the Open University of Japan, then the Venkateshwara Open University, and then the Wawasa San University. This Chinese language will not allow somebody to bite his tongue tonight. It is worthy of note that out of these 41 universities, 17 are cited in India alone. So India has a lot of open universities. You know, Indians are always very busy people. They will love to engage in open universities a lot. So what have we seen here? There are quite a lot of things to look at here, and this is where we are ending the class tonight. Let me just give some simple examples. I have an icebreaker, please. I have an icebreaker, and I will I want everybody to. In fact, if you do not respond, I will just stay here and be looking at you guys, waiting for you guys. So You guys should answer this while I try to explain what we have just finished reading. Now, when we're talking about, we started by saying this whole thing started with University of London. I mean, in London rather. It started in London, and you know, because it succeeded in London. I didn't when London tried it, the thing did not work. Other countries will not try it. But since it worked in London and it's making sense, other nations joined the league. They joined the league. And what happened when they joined the league? We have the inventions of, you know, open university in different nations of the world. In different nations of the world. And that was when we started having uh what are they called now? In the United Kingdom, the Athabasca University in Canada, Spain's National University of Distance Education, then the Fern Universität in Hagen, Germany, and so on. All of them came into space because that the one that was established initially at the United Kingdom succeeded. That was what gave them the boldness to go into open and distance learning. How interesting this thing evolved over time. Then Asia was given an award for being the one with the highest number of open and distance learning. In fact, they seem to be romancing with open Asia. And we have 41 of such universities, of which that are private. And what are the names of the private universities we have? Open universities we have in Asia. Arab Open University, the one in Malaysia, the one in Japan, the Venkateshwara Open University, the Wawasan Open University. Those are the ones we have in Asia that are private open universities. The rest are government owned, and then 17 are located in India alone. So in the next class, guys, we'll be looking at open and distance learning in Nigeria. Open and distance learning in Nigeria. Now, this is where you now start understanding your national open university small, small. We are leaving the global level now. We are moving slowly to our own Nigeria. So, as a form of ending the class tonight, this is the last icebreaker. Try to attempt it before you leave the class. Those of you that have not given my video a thumbs up, you are not helping me. Try to give it a thumbs up, Obiko. Thank you. Like the video before you leave. Those of you that are here to like it. It will help those that will be looking for it later, the recording. Even when you need to revisit it to watch the recording, it helps you to see it faster. So that is the logic. I am so grateful for your attendance tonight, and I hope that you've not wasted your time. I hope you've not wasted your time. The time is worth it. So as soon as we finish this class, I will update the questions for this class, the assignment for this class. I will add them to the assignment portal. So you people have about maybe, is it 100 questions that I have uploaded already? By the time I add the questions from this night's class, you'll be having more than 150 questions there. So the more you do it, the more questions you'll be seeing. Different questions will be popping up. If you do it now, they will show you 70 questions. Once you submit, you try it again, you'll see different set of questions. So you'll be seeing new questions as we finish each class. So tonight again, I will, as soon as this class ends now, I will upload the questions for this particular place we finish studying tonight. And what this is going to be helping you to do is that you are not just attending the class, you are also assessing yourself as soon as the class is done. So you can always go back to the assignment portal and test yourself. There are some details your eyes did not even see when we are reading now or when we are studying this together, that when you see the question, you say, so this one was in the part we read in the last night class. I did not see it though. Then you go back to your material to check. So that is it. Thank you for your time tonight, and do have a lovely night rest. Enjoy the rest of your evening. If you are not If you've not given my video a thumbs up yet, please give it. I'm begging you. I'm begging you. And for those of you that dash us money tonight, thank you. Your pocket will not run dry. God bless you. I love all of you. Bye bye.